He's looking pretty cute. I'm loving him. He just needs a couple more things. So I think we'll do his eyes next. And for that, I'm using food gel color. I just have a little bit here on my palette. And I'm just using the blue first. His eyes can be any color you want. I'm just gonna make them blue for now. And you need to figure out which direction you want him to be looking. I think I'm gonna have him kind of goofy-eyed. I like when they have big, silly, exaggerated eyes. You can make his eyes any color you want. All this can be any color you want. So I started with the main color. It's good to just have a variety of brushes on hand for things like this, just so you can play with them and see what works best for the situation. So now I have my black. And the same thing, it's just gel food color. And I'm just going to carefully line his eye. If your hands are being shaky, then just walk out for a little bit, take a little break, and come back and try it again. If you make a major mistake and you don't like how it looks, just use a wet brush and just clean his eyes off. And you can start over. So now I'm going to do the center of his eye. Just try to keep them uniform. Now I'm just going to line his eyebrows a little bit just to define them. His eyelid, sorry. Just helps give the eyes a little more character. Just take your time. The eyes are the focal point. So just take your time, make exactly how you want it. It's okay to rush through some things, and some things no. You have to take your time. Okay, pretty happy with that. So now I'm just gonna take a little bit of my black and mix it with white. Make kind of a gray color. And just gonna go over the charcoal, just so it has a little texture to it. So it's not perfectly black. Then I'm gonna do the same thing with some brown airbrush color. I'm gonna mix it with a little bit of vodka. So it's about 1 part airbrush and 2 parts of the vodka. We're just thinning it out. I'm just gonna put a little bit on my brush. I'm just gonna kind of dry brush his arm here, just to give it a little extra color. Just a little depth. You just want to kind of scrub it on there and get it into the little nooks and crannies. And just keep wiping it. You don't want to be pulled up or too much color. You don't want to really change the color of it. You're just adding a little kind of highlights to it. Just take your time. Don't push too hard. You don't want to break anything. Don't forget that sugar is very fragile. Can't take a lot of stress. So just always being gentle, always. Okay. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to make his garland that he's holding. So as you can see, he's holding his hands out, and we need to make that for a purpose. I'm just going to clean my brush actually because I see a little spot in his nose I want to fix. So for his garland, we're going to use some of this floral wire again. It's very thin, super thin. This is 26 gauge. So I'm going to make it longer than we need, and I'm just going to pull it tight just to flatten it out, because when you first take it off of this little barrel here, it's kind of crimped. You can cut this with scissors easily. I'm going to go ahead and bend up one side just so our little treats don't fall off. And he can be holding anything you want. If you want to use beads, you can. You can use actual real Christmas ornaments or some of the fuzzy garland that you get at Christmas. Anything you want. But I thought because he's kind of a woods, kind of like a woodland guy, like you stumbled upon him in the woods, I'm going to use kind of natural things. So one being popcorn. You know, like when you were little and you strung popcorn. Same theory. So we're just going to gently string this on. I have popcorn, and I have cherries, and I have blueberries. But you can use whatever you find. Anything will work. Just be gentle with it. So I'm just going to take a minute and string these up, and then I'll show you how to get it on the cake. So I have my little garland here, and I've been checking it to the size and make sure it's the length that I would like. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just wrap this around our little hand here. Just want to carefully wrap it around. Just twist it around a couple times just to make sure it's secure. Don't worry about things falling off. We'll just glue some back on. So we have it wrapped around one arm. We're going to attach it to the other, the same way. Now we're going to take our popcorn or any of the items that you used to string it up, and then we're just going to hide our string. Maybe put some on his hand to hide our little string marks there, just so you don't see the wire. I'm pretty happy with that. Now you can see where I have a drip here from my scarf, where the moisture from the scarf has made the icing run. So we'll just clean that up. Not a big deal. This cake has lots of room for error. So if you see any other marks that you want to work on, now's the time. Okay, so now we're going to add our ornaments that we made. And I like to start with the biggest one first. So we're just going to pull out our little skewers. We'll add some icing to the bottom. and just place them around the cake wherever you like. I think I'm going to put some on his head too, just to make some extra height. So you just want to be gentle with your Rice Krispie Treat hat here. I'm just going to find my hole that I already had, hopefully. We'll just make a new one. We'll just place our ornaments anywhere that we see fit. He looks like we stumbled upon him when he was in the middle of decorating. He's pretty cute. And these stars, you can just place them anywhere that you want, just to add a little whimsy to it. You can trim them up, be any size you want. They don't have to be that huge. It's little details like this that just add that little extra something to the cake that make people say, wow, that's so cool. You can bend these. I like how they look when they're a little bent. And I think I want to put a cherry on top of his hat, so I'm just going to pick one of the cherries I think is pretty. There's my little icing there just to hold it there. I like how that looks. And we'll put a couple of the fruit at the bottom just to make this make sense up here. He's festive. Pomegranates would be really pretty too. Some pomegranate seeds. You can even color these cherries gold if you wanted to with the edible gold. Okay, so now we're just going to clean off some of this extra powdered sugar that we had on the cake, just with a soft brush. On our board, we have a lot of sprinkles that have come off from our ornaments. And we lost our cherry. So now we're just going to take him and give him a quick airbrush.